Do I need a hat? I think I need a hat. Does this look stupid? Like, I think it kind of looks stupid. Oh my god. Okay, looks like we're just gonna have to deal with this. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Will Tran. Today we're talking about how we did the Everything Everywhere All at Once verse jump effect. I'm a big fan of Everything Everywhere All at Once, so, and I'm very sure a lot of us are as well. I really wanted to add like a couple of references to the movie here and there, and the main thing I really wanted to do was the verse jump. There's actually a whole featurette of the Daniels explaining how they did this effect. So literally what I did was try to follow that technique that they were talking about to the T, or as much as I can, obviously. Well, the first thing I asked myself was, can we even do this effect? So I grabbed my camera and I went out to a green screen studio and I just used the lights that were there. And then I literally just sat down in a chair and pretended that I was flying through all these universes.
There's a lot of people here.
And then I did a really quick VFX test. And to my surprise, it worked out fairly well. So I was like, well, I think that we can actually do this. So afterwards, I took my camera and I stuck it onto a stabilizer. And then I just walked through the streets of West Campus for about like an hour. And I'm grabbing as much footage as I possibly can, just going in a straight line, looking for a lot of leading lines and all that good stuff. And that essentially became the background that I would later composite my actor onto. And so the thing that the Daniels did was that they were actually talking about all the big LED light stages that they have for the show The Mandalorian. And they said, well, we had the 99-cent store version of that where they took 3 LED, it was like 9 LED panels and they stuck it in front of Michelle Yeoh, and then they just had her, act like she was flying through the universes. And they also put a leaf blower behind her to have her hair fly all around the place. And so I took that as a challenge. If you want to talk low budget, we're college students at the end of the day. So they did the 99-cent store version, we did the 5-cent store version. So we took a projector and projected that background footage onto a 5-in-1 reflector, and then that 5-in-1 reflector bled through to another surface on the other side of our actor, and it didn't work as well as I thought it would. So we also added a red nanlight tube on the top that was flashing intermittently to add more dynamic lighting to the situation. And we don't have a leaf blower, and for some reason we couldn't find a fan either, so we took a hair dryer and then set it to the cold setting, and we had somebody just behind our actor just kind of blowing his hair. And that didn't work out as well either, but we had to work with what we could. Our actor's name is Red, so we had Red just scream for about like 5 minutes on 4 different takes.
No, fuck.
And we definitely, concerned a couple people in studio that day, but it was all worth it at the end of the day. And we shot this on the Red Komodo, so therefore we had a lot of information to work with, a lot of pixels, a lot of color information. So the key was a lot easier in post. Then I did my basic keying. So removing the green, touching up the edges. So now I have a background and I now have an isolated version of Red just freaking out. So now all we have to do is put it together and make it blend. So I was really referencing the original footage from Everything Everywhere All at Once to see what they did to make it look so nice. The main thing that they had that we did not were LED panels. So the coloring on Michelle Yeoh's face was a lot easier for them because they didn't have to do a whole lot. We did not have that. I'll get to how we overcame that in a minute. The main thing I saw was obviously motion blur. So I added directional motion blur onto the background plate and a little bit on Red's face. And that's where I started to think, okay, this is starting to come together a little bit. And then I also started to see that towards the end of the jump, the contrast in the exposure started to go up a little bit. So I upped the exposure a little bit. I made a really sharp S-curve that slowly got more intense as time went by. So at the beginning of the shot was fairly normal looking, and then towards the end were very contrasty, very bright. And then something that the Daniels also said was that they added anime speed lines like over it that were very subtle. We also added anime speed lines, but we made them a little bit more prominent, just changed up a little bit. And then came the most tedious part of this effect: coloring. Like I said, the Daniels had 9 LED panels to basically just act as the color grade and the lighting, so they didn't have to do a whole lot there. Our projector didn't work out as well, so I had to basically color every single environment just so I can make Red's layer match all the lighting for every single environment that he was in. And there was also a lot of cutting involved, so like he's like jumping all around the place, making it look like he's going through all these different dimensions. That alone probably took about like 75% of the time of this project. And the final piece to bring this whole thing home also to hide all my little mistakes in this effect. As the jump progressed, like from beginning to end, the motion blur became very, very prominent. So at the beginning, there is a decent amount of motion blur, but towards the end, we add a lot more. And I just cut a mask out in the middle so you can still see Red's face. And that was now the finished visual effect. And what came in next was sound design, because I think we all know that audio is half the viewing experience, so don't neglect sound design. So in the movie, they had more of an angelic choir playing and just the sounds of the environments that she was in. We wanted to take this the more dramatic way, so we focused more on whooshes, so making it seem like he's flying through all these environments and he's freaking out. And so to begin the sequence, we had Red's scream come in and then fade out as we go into all the whooshes. And then we reversed his scream to come back up. Reverse gunshot sound at the very end. One nice slow motion cinematic hit. Put that all together, and the effect looks like this. My brain is fried, and we haven't even colored the rest of this film yet. Hope you enjoyed. I need another coffee. To learn more about writing, shooting, editing, and how to actually create better indie films, be sure to check out our course, The Filmmaker's Code. We're still in development of this course, and we need your feedback, and we also have a free 30-minute training video that'll help get you started. Check it out in the description below. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe for more indie films and filmmaking tutorials.